What's up, everybody? It's Conversation with Carroll. I'm your host, Nolan Carroll. We got another Q&A session about to drop, so let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. How do I find time to do my side hustle? You make time for what's important to you. Honestly, at the end of the day, if it means something to you, you make time for it. And if it's something that's going to advance you, you got to carve out time, make something. If it requires you getting up 30 minutes before and to work out, to go to the gym, I don't know, do something, meditate, then wake up 30 minutes before. Well, if you're not, and you're saying, oh, I want to get extra sleep, well, what's important to you? Is it sleep or is it freedom? Is it freedom to do what you want to do? So you got to ask those questions and decide, because at the end of the day, it's your life and you have the choices, and you can't blame anybody else if you decide to not do the thing that it is that you need to do. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it's uneasy, but guess what? Just ask yourself, is it important to you? What do you value more? Do you value sleep or do you value getting ahead in life? That's what you got to ask yourself, because you don't want to ask this question 10 years down the road or live with regret 10 years down the road saying, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I should have just set my alarm 30 minutes earlier. Or I should have made time on the weekends to start my business. Or I should have whatever. You just don't want to have that. Yeah, so I just say, look at everything from a bird's eye view. And I wrote this the other day on my story. It was eliminate, reduce, raise, and create. So you want to eliminate the things that are not serving you any purpose. It's taking time away from what you want to do. And then you reduce that time if you can, instead of just eliminate it completely. If you can't, try and reduce the time more and more. You know, if you're on Instagram for 2 hours, why don't you just do it for 1 hour now? And then see if you can do it for 30 minutes later on, and then 15 minutes. Just try that, or set a timer. These are little things that you can do. And shoot, just start seeing if you can wean away from that, if you can start to build it. So it was eliminate, reduce, raise. So if you can raise what you need to do, whether it's put more time in, if you want to go to the gym, you got to find time. You got to raise time. If it's an hour block that you can get, use that hour. If, look, 30 minutes to go meditate or go for a walk, use those 30 minutes wisely. Try and raise your time. If it's 30 minutes, make it an hour. If you can, try and make it 2 hours throughout the day. So just try and do that. And then at the end of the day, it's just about creating everything total. And if you put it all together and you're doing the things that you need to do and you're eliminating distractions, then you're able to create what you want to create, and then you have real time for it. So those are the 4 things: eliminate, reduce, raise, create. Remember those 4. Next question. How do I stay focused? You got to be intentional with your choices if you want to stay focused. If one of the sayings that we had in football was, see a little, see a lot. See a lot, see nothing. And oftentimes when you're going after something, it's just human nature to start looking and comparing to other people along the journey, and you lose focus on your own journey. And you've heard the saying before, you can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20. And that's the truth. You don't know how that person started. You don't know the things that they had to go through. You don't know the obstacles. And you could be starting off and getting all those same things that that person is just now coming in contact with obstacles. And you can think and get discouraged, oh man, I don't want to do it anymore because that person is further ahead than I am. Don't think of it that way. Just focus on your own process. And it all comes down to taking this little steps, one step at a time, and not focusing on anybody else, having blinders on, and honestly, don't putting a time limit on it. That's the thing that really kills anything that people try and do, is when they compare somebody else's timeline to theirs, they think, oh, I got to have what they had at this timeline. And when they were 35 and they made 5 million, I got to do the same. What if you don't do that? What if you only make 100,000? You know, are you going to feel discouraged? Or are you going to feel happy? Because look, at the end of the day, you did something that you started with 0 and you ended up making money. So you got to look at it that way. You can't look at it, well, I made the money, but then this person made more than me. Or I got these achievements and this person got more than me at this age. You can't look at it that way. You have to celebrate yourself. And I talk about it in my book. Celebrate yourself along the way in the process, because nobody knows what you had to sacrifice. Nobody knows what you had to go through to get to where you are. And the same thing with anybody else that's achieving success. So never look at it that way and never get discouraged. But at the end of the day, it's all about focusing on your process, focusing on your steps that you need to take every single day. And one of the things that I say, and that I've been doing more lately, is every single day I write in a journal, and it's more so writing down tasks that I need to complete. And I've shown this on my Instagram too. There's 5 things that I do. It used to be 3, now it's 5. But I'll write down 5 things that I need to accomplish that day that's going to get me towards my goals, get me towards what I want to achieve. And I make sure I focus on solely that, those goals only. I don't focus on next week. I don't focus on the next day. I only focus on the 5 tasks that I need to do. And I get those done because I'm focusing so intently on them that I know anywhere I move, when I move with intentions, I'm moving because of those goals that I set for that day. And that's what you need to start doing. I think that can really help you and keep you focused every single day and not look too far ahead or even look behind. Because either way, if you look behind, you start looking at the things that you messed up on and you never really try and fix them. You start looking too far ahead, you start getting anxious and you want to skip steps and force things to happen. It's really about just staying in the present moment and focusing that way, because those will get you to where you want to go. So I would do that. Write it down. See how you need to focus on what you need to do for that day. Set your intentions for the day. Don't let the day set the intention for you. And try and just kill it. Just crush it. Get the W, don't get the L. If you get the L, learn from it, and then just carry it over to the next day to make sure it's a win. That's all you have to do. Don't beat yourself up over it too much, if you're losing a day or here or there, but fight to keep your focus at all times. And that just comes down to discipline. You just got to be disciplined when you focus. Next question. How do I get people to respect me? It's vague. It's about your character and your boundaries. Yeah, really, if you're a good character person, you don't have to worry about respect. You don't have to worry about earning respect. So many people try and get validation from others and they're chasing the validation. Don't worry about the validation whatsoever. The work that you put in, the things that you stand for, the things that you say, the way you act, the way you interact with people, that will be the validation enough. That's where your respect will come from. People will be able to know if you're a good person or not. People will be able to know if you have the best intentions for them. People will know if you care about them. People will know if you care about others. And that's what will set you apart from a lot of other people. Instead of trying to get the attention, trying to get the respect, people are trying to buy respect from people. And that, at the end of the day, it doesn't work, because you're always at the mercy of somebody else, and you'll always be chasing that validation from somebody else, like we see nowadays. You just have to put the work in. You have to be your own person. You have to establish that identity, but at the same time, you have to establish boundaries. Like, people have to know they cannot cross you. People have to know that there's certain things that you will do and there's certain things that you won't do. There's a way where you give for yourself for others and you go out your way to help others, but there comes a certain point in time where you let them know, hey, look, this is a little bit too much. This is not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go outside myself and compromise what I'm doing to try and assist you with whatever it is you're doing. And at the end of the day, people have to be respectful of you as well. And that's how you set boundaries. It's not anything bad. It's just you have to let people know in advance so they know in the future they can't just put all of it on you, because a lot of people like to do that. They like to put problems on other people for them to fix them, and then when they can't do it because they know they're a nice person or they know that they can help them out, when they're not able to do it, from so long of you always being there for that person or always looking out for that group or always just being there, people take that for granted and just think you're always going to be that way. And then when you finally say you can't, they get mad, they get an attitude, and a lot of people shy away, and they always want to be the yes man. They always want to be the person around, but that drains you. And you got to know you can't always be there for everybody. You got to also know that you got to say no to people. Like, you got to get used to saying that word a little bit more, because at the end of the day, it's selfish for somebody else to ask you to go outside yourself and take away from what you're doing that could possibly compromise what you're doing. I'm not talking anything bad. I'm just saying the energy, the focus, the effort that you've been putting into your things that you're building, if it takes away from that, it's just hard to, you got to understand and know you can't be pushed around. You got to make sure that it fits your best interest. Now, if you want to go outside, you want to do that, you want to go the extra mile, hey, that's great. At the end of the day, you just got to understand when you're getting abused by it, and you also understand when you can actually help. Because at the end of the day, you only got one life to live, man. And you don't want to look back saying, well, I was helping this person out so much that I never had time to do what I wanted to do. And you hear it a lot. And at the end of the day, I don't want you to live with that regret. I don't want you to live with that. What if I would have done? What if I hadn't? You know, just think about it that way. Establish the boundaries. Don't go and chase the respect. Just be your own person. Just build away. Have blinders on. Just focus on what you need to build. All that accolade stuff comes after. I'm telling you from experience. It just always comes after. But you have to have some type of value, have some type of substance to where people do respect you. When you walk in the room, how do you command that presence? That just all comes from your reputation preceding you, the things that you've done time in and time out, not looking for the attention. So I would just say that's the way you get respect. Establish boundaries also. Appreciate you guys watching again. Conversation with Carroll, Q&A sessions. Love these things. You guys keep bringing the questions. Like I said, you can DM me or you can go on carrollsconnection.com. Go in there. You can go under the YouTube channel and submit your questions, and I'll bring them on here on the show, and we'll get it cracking. I'll answer what you guys have so I can help you. If this was informative, I want you to pass it along to your friends. Hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys.